guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here in my backyard somewhere in Florida, and guess what? We have it. This is a top trim 2021 Mazda CX-9. When I say top, this one is the Signature edition with all-wheel drive. But before we get into this mid-size zoom of an SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Mazda, this car company that actually didn't start selling cars at first. They actually sold cork all the way back in the late 1920s. In 1933, they came up with their first vehicle. It was called the Mazda Go. It was a three-wheel pickup truck. What really put Mazda on the map for basically the whole auto industry, including yours truly, is that rotary-powered engine of a setup in the Mazda RX-7. That really, to me, was so unique, so special. They were the first Japanese brand, think about that, first Japanese brand to win the coveted 24 Hours of Le Mans with that rotary-powered engine. Now, rotary engines aren't cool anymore. They're not very fuel efficient. They don't have the best emissions controls, but one thing is for certain, Mazda is bringing that fun driving experience. And you know what? They know that SUVs are hot, and they have one of the best-selling, the Mazda CX-5. That's a compact. This is the mid-size three-row. So what I want to find out, when you're comparing this to the Telluride, the Palisade, these SUVs that didn't even exist when Mazda was doing the business with their rotary-powered engines, is this the better driver's SUV, mid-size three-row SUV? Because guess what? Like I said, we have all-wheel drive and some zoom power underneath the hood. Let's go ahead. Let's find out, is this the better buy when it comes to your mid-size SUV? Right off the bat, I love the color, that machine gray color. It really seems like there's not a bad one in their palette of colors. Of course, Soul Red would probably be the one that many of you would choose, but on this machine metal gray color, we start off at the front of the business. I love how they do headlights in Mazda land. LED headlamps, LED daytime running lamps, and the housing is so small for a large vehicle. It looks really great. We have a little bit of chrome trim, which we'll experience a little bit down the road here. But as you drop down, I love the great flow and design. One of the zonks, though, is this guy right there. That would have been a perfect place for a functional side air curtain. But on the Signature edition, you are getting the chrome trim that wraps around along the bottom. And you do, if you look very closely, do get LED fog lamps that are really slim and trim tucked up inside there. Now, as we come across a new grille, this is a new grille for 2021. That's one thing I forgot to mention, is that there are some updates for 2021. New grille design. I like the horizontal slots. I like the way it's a nice, almost like a metallic silver. On our Signature edition, we do have a forward-facing camera, that Mazda logo. And if you notice, look at the edge here of chrome. The way that this is shaped actually mimics the design of the logo, which is smart. I mean, that ties everything together. You have a nice wide low opening down here with that chrome that runs along the lip. But really, the way that the hood kind of just drifts down gives it an aerodynamic. When you compare this to, say, a Telluride, a Palisade, a Chevy Traverse, even the new Sorento from Kia, this thing really is much more aerodynamic, much sleeker looking. Now, when we get up onto that sexy hood, you can see it's the simplicity. Nice body lines, everything just goes right towards the A-pillar. No bulge, and I know you might think that's a bad thing. On this vehicle, it works. So save your bulge for later. This is looking really good. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with on this 2021 CX-9? You have these multi-spoke, hand-polished aluminum wheels. I actually have seen video footage from the factories in Japan where they're hand polishing these wheels. This is a 20-inch wheel, 255 on the width, 50 series sidewall, just a clean design. Doesn't need to be anything else. Really liking it. Now, another zonk that I think I'm gonna have to issue is the flat black. It would be great to see this with all color match trim. I think it would just elevate the overall look of it. But the great news is it's not like their smaller CX-30 where the black goes up onto the hood. It's actually much lower. And yes, I was being a little bit sarcastic, a little bit of a giggle there, but it's a nice height, flat black to match what's happening at the front. As we go down the side, of course, you're gonna get color match mirror caps. super slim and trim turn signals. You got the chrome trim along the lower sill, color matched door handles, nice low roof rails that have a brushed aluminum look to it. You have shiny, bright metal work, top and bottom. Working our way towards the rear from the side. Like I said, just like the hood, very, very sleek looking for a 3-row midsize SUV. Great shape on the quarter window, and then as we wrap it out back, you're gonna have very, very low roof spoiler. I wish they would have extended it a little bit more to get rid of this guy, but I'm telling you right now, you look at these taillights, they look like they're off a supercar. The way that they're styled, the way they extend off the bodywork. You got your CX-9 Signature all-wheel drive badging. A little bit of chrome trim to go with that front grille. See how it intersects into the LED housings and everything. Your Sky Active G badge. And then as we drop down even lower than this, you have a little bit more chrome to finish it off, and dual exhaust, which is great. Both functional, actual real tips, no decorative trim rings or any of that garbage. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our CX-9 Signature. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. I would love to just rip out this prop rod and throw it, but then the hood would just drop. I don't like the placement, and I don't like the way there's a prop rod on the top trim, so I am gonna zonk that. But underneath the hood, a lot of people would argue that the engine is too small, but you know what? They're definitely getting it done. That's a 2.5 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. Remember, a lot of the competition uses naturally aspirated V6 power. The great news is you're getting 250 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. The bad news is that you're gonna have to use premium fuel when fueling up. It is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. You do have that all-wheel drive, getting power to the ground. 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds. The SUV weighs around 4,365 pounds. Quarter mile is gonna go by at 15.4 seconds at 91 miles an hour. And when it comes to fuel economy, you're looking at 20 in the city, 26 on the highway. What's wonderful is that when you get behind the wheel of one of these, that's where you get that whole zoom experience. It's all about the driving, and that's really where this SUV shines compared to the competition. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior, because I think there's some changes that you're really gonna like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2021 Mazda CX-9 Signature all-wheel drive. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm looking for a midsize SUV, but I'm being very careful with my choices because I want one that really communicates well when I'm driving. I'm just like you. I love to drive no matter what I'm behind the wheel of. How much is this particular CX-9 Signature? So the way that this one is pretty much fully loaded, you're looking at an MSRP right around $46,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels, you're gonna see an elevated feel, fit, and finish inside the CX-9. Nice soft touch material. I love the dark gray finish up top. You then have this cream leather with the stitching, and then look at that real wood trim around the controls for your windows and the door locks. Optional Bose sound system and a decent sized door pocket. You could easily get that cold cut combo, maybe hold the pickles, but you can get a bottle of crushed orange soda in that bottle holder. Now when you get to the dash, soft material, there's more of that nice gray silver trim, very, very classy. Even the way they kind of encompass around the perimeter of the handle to open up the glove box, just the little things like that elevate the whole feel. You can see on the side, soft touch. It's like a pillow. I wish I could sleep with this. Down below, you have a nice 12 volt in there. Just don't stick your finger in there. You're gonna shock yourself, or maybe you'll get it stuck. And there's more of that wood trim. When it comes to infotainment, we have an all new 10.3 inch infotainment system set up. The bad news is you could touch it, but it doesn't do anything. So it's not a touch screen. It all has to be activated through Mazda's direct drive rotary control knob. But it is very welcoming to see 10.3 inches. I don't mind the style. It's high just enough, and it's nice and wide. Here's the other big change. Look at the backup camera. Look at the 360 camera. Super duper clear quality. See how if I go there, I can't actually touch anything. I have to actually go through the system. I put it back in the park, and I know that I showed you that there's a forward-facing camera. Hit the button. There's your forward-facing camera with trajectory. wonderful high quality with the 360. I'm loving it. That's one thing I'm really super duper loving. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation, of course. There we are in my backyard. That's where I live, right here, right off of Republic Drive. Start stop button, bright silver, chrome finish, looking tasteful, nothing too gaudy. Heated steering wheel, heated seats, ventilated seats. I love the dual climate control knobs. Have a nice click every time you select that next degree. Wireless charging and enough space for a 3 Musketeer. Or you could go crazy, get 4 Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and you better share with me or I'm gonna punch you in the side. Gloss black, some silver. This is gonna control that 6-speed automatic transmission. You have your sport mode, which is real simple. You just go into sport mode. When you want to get out of sport mode, you click down. That's it. Love the wood. There's that direct drive control knob. At first, I'll be honest, this is a pain in the butt. But once you get the hang of it, it's not too crazy. 2 cup holders. You have your tasteful, light Mazda key fob with the buttons on the side. And then, I'm telling you, the German Euro cars, luxury cars, these are always as hard as a rock. Look how nice and soft that is. And then you got your Bombay doors. I have enough room in here probably for about 12 Twinkies, 2 USBs in there, and then you close up your Bombay doors. Welcome to Napa. No, not Napa, California, Napa leather. Look at this, all the way down, the perforated. Look at the stitch work, the piping, absolutely stunning. And then you're gonna have your full electric seat controls on the side for the passenger, including lumbar and the driver. And then the one thing that's a little bit, it's like, as you're building momentum, you're like, yes, this thing has got all this luxury. And then you look up top and you're just like, standard sunroof. So it's nice that there's a sunroof, but $46,000. I need a panoramic sunroof. I need it right now. So I'll close that. Maybe I'll forget about it. But come over to the business end, because this is where the fun is going to take place behind the wheel of this Mazda CX-9. All right, guys, come on in. Business time. I got the seat controls just like the passenger. We have them on the driver's side. I love the nice finishes on them. They just feel quality, and I like that, what Mazda's doing without creating a luxury premium brand like the other brands have done. You do have 2 memory seat settings, which is great. Let somebody borrow your CX-9. My advice is make them work for it. Make them earn borrowing, being your friend, borrowing your CX-9. That's all I got to say. But plenty of headroom. I'm 6 feet tall. If they're 8 feet tall, you're probably going to want to get them a Jeep Wrangler and take the roof off because they're not going to fit. But the great news is I'm not 8 feet tall. I'm 6 feet tall. Fit very well in here. The Bose sound system, super clear. Love the steering wheel. Stitching is looking great. I'm just surprised they didn't use contrast stitching to work with the cream colors in here. But you have the little silver. I want to get a Dremel tool and actually Dremel this space out. I don't know why they did that. That's a zonk. But I like the horn button. Really nice thin spokes, all your controls. You got paddles on the back of the wheel. They are plastic to go up and down the 6-speed automatic. And then the dash, it's laid out, it's clean, it's simple, it makes sense. Analog tach. That thing in the center that looks like it's an analog speedometer is actually digital. You can scroll through different information in the center, and you have an analog fuel gauge and coolant gauge and a head-up display to be that cherry on top. But you know what? Things are looking good up here. Let's check out the back seat and see how your passengers are going to feel like captains of their own ship. All right, guys, mid-road time in the CX-9. And this is where, like I was saying, your passengers are going to feel like their own captain of their own ship. I love the way they brought a center console to the mid-row. I know for sitting 3 across, that makes it impossible, but it feels really good. We got rid of those stupid captain's armrest things that I just hate. Nice, soft, just like up front. Opens up perfectly, the Bombay doors. But let's look at the back of these leather seats. Look at this, leather all the way around. You have 2 pockets. So maybe put the healthy food up top, like Nature Valley granola bars, and put all those Twinkies and junk food in the bottom. You have your rear AC controls with the rear AC vents. I wish that there was a couple more AC vents. I would like maybe one here or even up top rather than just keeping my shins and my knees cool. But the great news is I have plenty of room over here. We got heated seats, 2 cup holders. It would be nice at $46,000 to have ventilated seats, so that's gonna be a zonk. Like I was saying, the space in here, you have 2 USBs and enough room You could go crazy. Get 30 packages of Kit Kats. They're gonna fit in there. And guess what? If you got other people riding with you, you could share it with them and still have plenty for yourself. Or just keep it all for yourself and say the hell with you. But nice and soft, feeling really good. Look at that. I'm feeling even better because I'm almost lying down. Plus, you know what? If somebody's looking at me right now, well, I'm eating my Kit Kats by myself and just going crazy back here. Feels good. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to that third row and see what it's gonna feel like for those passengers sitting in that area of your CX-9. All right, guys, time to get in that third row. We got the seat all the way forward. I wish they put a little bit more plastic down here so you're not messing up the carpet, but let's go ahead and climb on in. And here we go. So I'll move over so you could come sit in here with me. Now, I do have the seat all the way back, so that's why I'm a little tight on space. If you slip me a $20 bill, if I'm sitting here, I'll move the seat up for you. If you do 50, I'll switch seats with you. So no, make it 100. But the good news is, you know what? It's not too crazy for a 6-foot-tall person back here. I just wouldn't want to ride very long. My knees are way too high as usual, but the leather is absolutely so soft back here. Plus you have the cup holders, your Skittle holders, and the USBs, which is fan freaking tastic. There's just no AC vents back here, which is a real pain in the butt, man. It's like hot. But anyways, let's check out that cargo area because we may be able to put a couple fans back there to cool off the passengers. All right, guys, time to get into that cargo area. You're gonna hit right underneath the Mazda logo. It is electric assist, which is nice. Opens up at a quick pace. Now, what you're looking at with that third row up is about 14 cubic feet of space, but the good news is we'll be able to fold that down, and I'll show you in a second. Also, what's good is that when you're going on that road trip, we have a lot of storage underneath here. Here's a little fun tip. What you could do is you could put maybe some cheap toys back here, and what you do is when you're on a family trip, if the kids are being good, let them choose from the Mazda CX-9 treasure box. And if they continue to be good, they could come back for more. That's a tip from me to you. But that slots down nicely. We do have a 12 volt, so if you're gonna go to the beach, if you're gonna go, tailgating or something, you do have a power source, very convenient. And to put the seats down, it's super simple. We already have the headrest down, but you're just gonna go ahead. That's all you need. What else do you need to do here? Boom, nice flat floor, and that's gonna help maximize that storage space to give you 71.2 cubic feet of space. Obviously, take care of that mid row there. And one thing I do wanna point out is with those seats down, you do have a nice tray for Skittles and USBs on both sides. And both passengers in that third row are gonna be gifted with a nice Skittle tray and a cup holder for maybe some Hawaiian punch. That sounds good right about now. But before we could get any punch, let's go ahead, do some on throttle in our Mazda CX-9. All right, guys, we're in the CX-9. We're leaving my backyard. On throttle, here we go. So like I was saying, even though you have a 4-cylinder turbo, you are able to get up to speed very quickly. And the great news is with the all-wheel drive, you're not worried about losing traction, which is phenomenal. I do have it in sport mode. Sport mode does not do a ton of stuff, but what it does do is that it adjusts how the transmission, that 6-speed automatic, behaves with the 2.5 liter inline 4 turbocharged engine. It'll hold the gear for longer so that when you get back on throttle, you're already in the sweet spot of the power band. Let's talk about this guy right here. 10.3 inches, looking good. I like that infotainment system. Would it be great to be a touchscreen? Yes. But to be honest with you, depending on how you sit in your CX-9, which most of us do not sit on top of the dash, it's gonna be a reach every time you want to touch it. All right, guys, let's do another acceleration from a slow roll. I'm gonna leave it in automatic mode. On throttle, here we go. Smooth shifts from the 6-speed, getting on the brakes, pedal feels good. And then this is where it really shines, is when you turn that steering wheel, you're getting great feedback. It's feeling good, back on throttle. All-wheel drive keeps us planted. And it's a very, very balanced chassis. I mean, watch as we go into this right-hand turn here. Just very balanced, front to back. It feels good, makes you feel confident, makes you feel like you're in something a little extra special. And that's what I love about the CX-9, is they're making you feel a little special, a little bit more special than some other SUVs at this particular price point. All the finishes are phenomenal. That mid-row, I think your passengers are gonna be happy as can be, except for the lack of the ventilated seats, but everything else just really checks all the boxes off. And then, like I was saying, when it comes to the clarity of that camera, here we are at the light, and just look how clear it is. It's really great to see them not only update the infotainment system, but also the camera quality there. That really just brings it to a new level. Right, guys, what I did was I took the shifter and I pulled it to the left, to the driver's side. That puts it in manual shift mode. Now I am in control using those paddles, and I want to show you how different the experience is here. But on throttle, here we go. Look at that. You can actually get some little bit of spin coming from those tires on that dirt there, but then it gripped down. Look at the handling. Super smooth. So definitely you're gonna get a different experience when it comes to putting it in manual shift mode. All right, guys, from a dead stop, on throttle, here we go. Using the paddles, handling well. Look at this. Nice transition, super smooth. That's where it's gonna put a big smile on your face, is if you have the proper roads where you live. And the quality of the sound deadening material in here, the thickness of glass, makes it a nice, serene experience that I think after a hard day at work, you're gonna enjoy driving this vehicle. Driving at normal speeds, you can see it's just quiet inside. It's smooth. You got great visibility. And then when things kind of open up, you can take advantage of that and enjoy yourself. That's what I like about this CX-9. But hopefully it gave you a good overall feel of what's new for 2021, because there have been some new things if you've been paying attention. Plus, what is it all about when you're driving a CX-9 compared to those other mid-sized 3-row SUVs? But we're gonna get back to my backyard, wrap this up, and put this baby to bed. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day with this Mazda CX-9. I definitely wanna thank everybody over at Mazda USA for allowing Rady's Rides access to this. You know, yes, the mid-sized 3-row segment is so fierce with the competition, but you know what? When it comes for the pure, sheer fun of driving, which I am all about, this CX-9 really does the business. And the signature trim, the high level of fit and finish is unbelievable at this price point. But if you want to keep seeing mid-sized 3-row SUVs on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new, on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera, Lori, working like a champ. This is car number 10 that we filmed today. Thank you, Lori, for your hard work. Give her a shout out in the comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.